Hello guys, I'm Dr. Thompson, the instructor of the T-Square OET Academy. Today I'll be walking you through how to use capitalizations in OET letter writing. Using capitalization can be quite challenging for some students, but I'm going to highlight areas where capitalizations are needed in OET letter writing. All right, if you are just joining us for the first time, this is your first time on visiting my channel, I would advise you walk through my channel. There are a lot of useful resources that can help you pass your OET. And I will also encourage you hit the subscribe button whenever I release any video or any tutorial. You will be the first to be notified. Okay, so let's get started. First, capitalizations are used with titles. Whenever you want to write titles, you have to capitalize. Wherever these titles are in the sentence, whether they are starting the sentence or in the sentence, you have to capitalize. For example, in this case, the illness has negatively affected Mr. White's income. So here, Mr. is capitalized. M in Mr. is capitalized because it's a title. You don't use small letters here. Another point you have to use capitalizations is when you want to write the names of persons and places. For example, here, if you want to write, let's say the name of the person is James Khalid, you have to capitalize. Look at this sentence. She lives at 38 Newcastle. We have to capitalize Newcastle because 38 Newcastle is the name of a place. All right, when writing brand names of medications, it's very important that you capitalize brand names. But when you're writing generic names, you don't capitalize. For example, the generic name of our augmentin is amoxicillin clavulanic. So if you have amoxicillin clavulanic, you don't need to capitalize. But because augmentin is a brand name, we have to capitalize. For example, really was treated with augmentin. Whenever we are writing the names of diseases named after humans, you really need to capitalize those diseases. For example, Alzheimer's disease, Huntington disease, Baker's cyst. These are medical conditions or diseases named after human. So wherever they find themselves in the sentence, they have to start with capital letter. For example, she has a Baker's cyst. All right. Whenever you are starting a sentence, you really need to capitalize. Some persons, after adding a full stop, they use small letters to start a sentence. That's totally wrong. For example, let's look at this paragraph. The condition has progressively worsened and the medications are no longer working. He will benefit from further evaluation. Here, I have to start with capital H because I've already stopped this sentence here. Now that I'm starting a new sentence, I have to start with capital letter. Here again, I started this sentence with capital T. All right, the pronoun I, wherever you find this pronoun I in a sentence, must be written in capitals. I've seen some persons, whenever they want to write I, they will dot it. Dotted I is small form of I. So you don't need to dot it. You have to write it in capital wherever it finds itself, whether it's starting a sentence or in the middle of a sentence. For instance, let's look at this sentence. Her clinical features are in keeping with arthritis, and I believe she would benefit from further treatment. Here, I use capital I because it has to be capitalized. Is the only pronoun that you have to capitalize wherever you see it in a sentence. All right, while writing letters, you always start with the address. So whenever you're writing the address, each word in that address must be capitalized except prepositions and conjunction. For example, this is our address. Here, each of the words, we have to capitalize them. But because and is a conjunction, we don't have to capitalize it. We have to write it in small letters. Okay. All right. Don't capitalize the following. Number one, whenever you have medical conditions, You don't need to capitalize. I've seen some students, whenever they're writing any medical condition, any symptom, they will always capitalize. That's totally wrong. Unless if the medical condition is starting a sentence, that's when you have to capitalize, start it with a capital letter. But if not starting a sentence, you don't need to start with a capital letter, except if those medical conditions are named after humans. Let's look at these sentences. She has diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and Alzheimer's disease. Here, I didn't capitalize. I didn't start diabetes with capital D. I didn't start mellitus with capital M. Here, I didn't start hypertension with capital H. And here, I started Alzheimer with capital A, because Alzheimer's disease is named after human, but hypertension is not named after human. Diabetes mellitus is not named after human. Look at this second sentence. I capitalize Baker's cyst. I have to start with capital B because this Baker's is a name of a person. She is asthmatic, okay? She is asthmatic and currently being evaluated for Graves' disease. Here again, I didn't start this asthmatic with a capital letter, but I have to start Graves' disease with capital G. All right. Now, a second point where you don't capitalize pronouns when they are not starting a sentence, except if they are starting a sentence, that's when you capitalize them. For example, the illness has affected her income. Here, I didn't start this pronoun with capital H. I've seen some students starting any pronoun with capital H. At the moment, she is unemployed. Because this pronoun is coming in a sentence, I don't have to capitalize it. I have to write it in small letters, capital S. Based on this, I would appreciate if you can assess her. Now, I started I with capital. I wrote I in capitals because it's the only pronoun that you have to write in capitals wherever you see it in a sentence. All right, when you are writing professionals, you don't need to capitalize these words, okay? I've seen some students, whenever they want to write doctor in a sentence or a nurse or physiotherapist, they always start it with capital letters. That's totally wrong. These are like common nouns. They are not proper nouns. They are not names of human beings. For example, she was referred to a physiotherapist by her doctor. I use small letter P and small letter D. I don't have to capitalize them. I don't need to capitalize them. So let's look at the fourth example. You don't need to capitalize procedures and tests. For example, endoscopy, colonoscopy, full blood count, etc. You don't need to capitalize all this when they are in a sentence, unless if they are starting a sentence. For example, okay, I didn't make any example here, but I can say something like this. He was ordered for an endoscopy. There, I don't need to capitalize the letter E. But if these procedures or tests, they are abbreviated, you must capitalize. For example, FBC for full blood count, MRI for magnetic resonance imaging, ESR, and so forth and so on. So if these procedures or tests, they are abbreviated, you have to capitalize them in your letter writing. All right, guys, this is where we come to the end of this session. If you like my channel, please do hit the subscribe button and also share this tutorial with other students who are preparing for the same exam. Thank you very much. If you want to reach out to me, please, you can always reach out to me via Telegram, WhatsApp, or you can put a call across. You can also visit my Instagram, and also you can follow me on Twitter. Do have a great day, guys. Bye.